Alright, this is the audio commentary for Deceiver, which is the last track of the Magma EP. Deceiver is a song about being this egomaniac person, like you are at the top of your game, and then you realize actually that you're not, and there are so many people out there that are much better than you, so you're trying to fight this idea of who you really are in this society. In conjunction, this music is completely like this kind of song which we kind of like to do as a band. It's like half chill and then suddenly like intense and then chill again and then intense. We try and take our listeners on a ride lah. And for this song, I feel this was Hakim's like hardest song and challenge. So Hakim, can you tell us more about like the approach?
Personally, for me, my comfort zone has always been very like hard hitting, rock, punk rock, that kind of stuff. So when we started writing with this new song, I tried to like be a bit more like going to a different approach. Maybe like I add more like ghost notes, a little bit slight touches and stuff like that. So there are times when I can like just whack and go loud, and there are times where like okay right, I need to pull back and like okay, this is the chill part. So I guess in that sense it was quite challenging for me. Yeah.
I'm very like curious to know, like when you are thinking of drum patterns, like whenever I give you music, it's just music, like how do you even picture anything, or like do you just let your body do the work?
Because for me, okay, I mean, you guys know that I don't really like study music like officially and stuff like that. So like a lot of our method of communication in music is very unorthodox, right? You guys could say that. Like you would tell me like, hey, Hakim, I want you to play this beat, ta 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 ta. Then I was like, oh okay, is this the one that you want? Okay, no, scrap. Okay, how about version 2? Is this the one that you want? Okay, no. Then until we find a particular pattern that we really like, okay, I think this is the one. This suits well with the track. Then we said, okay, right. Then we go with it. So normally that's how we've been doing things. I know it's a very bad excuse not to learn the actual music. Study the notes and stuff. But yeah, I guess it has worked for the band up until now lah.
It's good lah. It gives us a crazy identity lah.
It's more of a feel, I guess, compared to yeah.
And Ernest, I guess this song, the guitars, we tried to do a crazy 2 guitar solo, one for the guitar and then one for the bass.
Yeah.
But like for the guitar solo, the tone, what were you going for?
I was going for like destroy.
I think
if I could sum it up in one word,
destroy.
Yeah.
Overall, the whole song or the whole EP, like you were going for these like wacky doodle like tones there.
I guess this song, I mean, being the last track of the EP, I wanted, and I felt that it was appropriate to incorporate it just really like out of, like fully distorted, fully fuzzed out kind of tone. Even like the solo itself, like it's me like just playing hard, like really hard. Yeah, and like playing, bending my strings in a way that like I felt that it could just snap at any time, just cause I wanted to bring out the intensity of like the emotion. Yeah, cause I mean where the solo is situated at, I think it's quite a high point of the song, so I felt that it was appropriate. But yeah, I mean, prior to that, there was a bass solo too, and it was quite funny because our I think when we did our demos, we were kind of like jokingly laughing about like how the solo was like
cheesy.
Constructed in
it feels
that
forced.
cliche. Yeah, but then we kind of embraced the idea when we actually went into recording, so that was interesting. What do you think, Hafi?
Yeah, I think overall for this song, it's the hardest that Eugene and I wrote for the bass line. So like for every segment, the bass line keeps on constantly changing.
Yeah.
Then we have that bass line. So for the solo, I think I remember speaking to Eugene like, okay, we want to write something that's not cheesy and not cringy. And I think we kind of like agree to the last idea of the solo. Then other than that, the ending part is also like a new thing that I try to instill to our songs. You know, the triple finger thing, all those crazy stuff. So yeah, I think this is one of the hardest, and I don't like playing it live, I guess.
Right.
It's okay.
Yeah.
We will still make you play it live. Yeah, and also, so now let's go to the segment where we talk to our guest speaker here, Mr. George from Pantheon Percussion. Yes, Ernest, I believe you have a few questions for George.
Yes. Actually, not just a few, quite a bit. But yeah, I'll start off slow. Yeah, if for those viewers out there, those who do not know, George has always been a supporter of the band, and he has so graciously provided us like a shopping cart full of like drums, like snares, toms, kicks, whatever you can name it in the drum world. He has provided it for us, so we are really grateful for that. Yeah, and yeah, so for Deceiver is a big drum song as well. So we used can you tell us more about the kit we used, Josh? Yeah.
So it was fun because I think it was the first time we did like a production model standard kind of drum set, and it was meant, that was my concept for a universal drum set. It could be used for, if you wanted, you could use it for jazz or pop or rock, just choosing what size you want. So it needed to have a bit of warmth, but it still needed to have punch. So we chose beech wood as the base material, and that would provide like a kind of like a universal launching platform for any drum beat lah. You know, you could just change the skins and something good will come out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I chose it for those qualities lah, with sufficient attack, because modern music needs more of the punch, I suppose.
Yes.
You know, but the warmth so that it has a little bit of body.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think definitely when we first approached you to look for a kit, I think just the word in our head was fat.
Yeah. George, how can we sound like Darren King from Mute Math, you know?
Yeah.
And I think
That was a good reference though.
yeah, like you came to us and we kept seeing like Darren King's Instagram. He was drumming with these very small drum kits, and then you told us like it's a pancake kit. And I was like, what's pancake kit? I don't eat pancakes for breakfast, you know. Like and yeah, you were prototyping your own pancake kit during this time.
So actually the pancake drum is not a new concept. I mean, it's been around probably since the 70s, maybe even earlier. So but it hadn't been a really commercial product at the time. It never really caught on. I think it didn't have enough functionality for everyone. So we had to configure the right materials. We were prototyping it because it's a very Singaporean problem to live in HDB flats and not have enough space for a kit.
Yeah.
You know, and for me, my purpose is to promote the percussive arts, right, and music in general. So my idea was that if more people could play a kit, then there will be more drummers. You know, or more people could create music at home. And so we had to solve the problem of police knocking on your door, you know, or not having the space to have a drum kit at home.
Yeah.
So we had to solve those two problems, and so the pancake or / urban kit was our response lah to that. And so I wanted to use from a supplier point of view to try and promote music by increasing the number of kits in homes lah. Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah. So we had to get the right materials. So at the time I chose birch because it needed to sound bigger than it looked, because it's really a tiny kit. I mean, it's only 2-inch thick.
Yeah, it's very tiny, but it really packs the fatter sound.
Yeah. And that, so the selection of drum skins, the choice of the wood, the kind of bearing age, you know, and all kind of accoutrements, you know, you could add
Yes.
to modify the sound, and that comes from a more sciencey kind of background, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, how you affect the pitch by adding mass, etc.
Yeah, we actually have some like behind the scenes. Like I remember we took some behind the scenes.
Yeah, we
footage.
went to your house while you were making some of the drums even.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was a strange period of time for Pantheon. This was like slightly it was not even COVID yet.
Yeah.
You know, and at that time I had decided to move my entire drum making operation into my home, and so I was literally making drums in my toilet. You know,
Okay.
I was doing the standing bits in my toilet, and then I would be assembling the drums on my dining table, and then applying varnish and drying it in my reading room.
Yes.
You know, and it was a bit crazy, and my whole house had turned into a walk-in workshop. You know, at the time, but that you know it was really fun to have people come to my house and see how we made the drums, etc.
Yeah, I learned a lot. Like, I think everyone that came learned a lot. Even like the snare wire. Eventually, like I bought like a more expensive snare wire for our own use for our live shows, and like we changed it, and we were like, oh, our snare is not bright anymore. Like, it's no
Yeah.
longer like making
Like-
our ears bleed all the
Like
time.
that
Yeah,
irritating kind of bright, right?
Yeah.
Too high.
Yeah.
Yeah, choosing even the correct accessories, the snare wires, even the kind of strap that you want to use to get the kind of response you want from the drums, you know. And I'm glad I was able to share this kind of knowledge with you guys, because I think at the time when creating Pantheon, I had to really nerd out on all the different specs, you know, because I had to share with everybody, hey, how do you create the sound that you want? And I needed to be able to communicate that in words to people. You want this sound? Sure, this product will help you get that sound. You know,
Yeah.
then we can zoom in on what, you know, is suitable. So, you know, so all that product knowledge came to use then I could share with you guys.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing with us all this in-depth knowledge that sometimes I still can't wrap my head around.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and I would say that a big part of the job is actually communicating it in an accessible way I mean, I could, you know, draw some waveforms for you, and that would be silly you know.
Yeah.
For the lay person, no one will understand it. You know, so it had to be accessible at the same time Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, I guess this wraps up our commentary for Deceiver. Thank you, George, once again,
Thank you.
and thank
No
you, Pantheon
problem.
Percussion, for joining us on this episode.
Yes, thanks so much, George.
Yeah, thank you. And with this, to all our listeners out there, hope you guys enjoy Deceiver, and peace out.